Dear Diary, my name is Chloe. I'm 10 years old, and this is my story. I live in Stratford, a small town in Canada near Toronto with my parents. I'm currently going to a school here in our city, but next school year, I will have to go to a new school. Then I'm going into the 5th grade. Actually, I am very happy, but my mother doesn't think so nice. She's always worried about me, and as much as I try to take her worry away, I just don't know what to do. But that was not the only change in my life.
It's time for bed, darling.
Yes, I'm already in. Mom? Mom? But that was just the beginning of the story.
Eh bien, salut tout le monde, c'est Mr. Pewdie, alias Pewdie, j'espère que vous allez bien. Nous nous retrouvons pour une nouvelle découverte d'un jeu qui s'appelle All That Remains. Alors comme vous l'avez vu, je crois qu'on s'appelle Chloé, que l'on vit près de Toronto, et que nous allons nous coucher. Alors à mon avis c'est un rêve. Ah, je peux aller plus vite en appuyant ici. C'est pas mal fait. Je sais pas ce qu'il faut que je fasse. Allons là-bas. Sur le ponton. Déjà là-bas il y a un banc. Et ici qu'est-ce qu'ils me disent? Love.
Boys in elementary school are the worst kinds of people. In my old school, there were a bunch of gross kids always doing something awful, like stepping on ants or throwing sand at each other. Now, in this new school, they're a bit tamer, but that doesn't mean they're not jerks. Most of them always try to act like they're the best in everything. Like they try to impress nobody and everybody all the time. They also hit each other a lot. I think the first couple I heard of was between this girl, Charlotte, and a boy almost a year older than her. It was pretty calm in 6th grade, but as soon as I got to 7th grade, this couples thing spread like wildfire. I always think my friends and I are a bunch of nerds, mutually knowing that, yeah, we have no shot at this. But it's fun to hear gossips and whatnot. Eventually, though, the fire catches us too. In a good way, though. Tom and Lucy said they're dating now, and I think I smiled a little too much when I heard them tell me. But whatever, we're in 9th grade already, and I never ever cared about a relationship for myself. But now that 2 of my best friends are trying it out, I'm a bit jealous. Emma and I often talk about boys now. I'm not sure why. I feel like it's wrong, but it can be fun. This talent scout that visited our school, Jack, is a big part of our discussions. He's about the hottest dude I've ever seen, but he's also 20-something. I still get pretty tongue-tied around him, which is weird and probably affects the quality of my work. I think that for the entirety of 10th grade, I was looking for someone myself, but every boy from my school was just not it, I guess. I never found someone I feel connected to on that level until this beautiful post-16th birthday summer. His name's David, and he's an artist as well. I met him at a gallery for an art competition I went to. He's many things, but one thing you'll notice straight away, he's got some class. He's very kind and well-mannered, but he's also not shy. So like an impossibly perfect combination. Confident, but not presumptuous. Can you believe it? I think he's interested in me too. We start going out and things are looking great. I'm under a lot of stress, but David is the sweetest guy in the world and always makes me feel so much better. I'm glad I found him. One time, exactly 3 months after we started dating, he took me to this special restaurant at one end of town. It was no regular diner though. The entire thing was a Ferris wheel, and you basically rent a cell where you get served food beforehand. then have 45 minutes to talk, eat, and do whatever you want while riding around in a gigantic wheel. It's one of these things where it's either fantastic or a total failure. It was amazing. It was super romantic, and honestly, I didn't even know I needed it. There's something so intimate in eating, discussing, connecting to someone while you're 300 feet high in the air. We kissed when we were exactly on top. No one could watch us from beneath or above. It was the best thing ever. I wish we could do more of these, but the 11th grade is so tough, and neither of us has any time. Emma and Lucy are happy for me, nagging me about how in love I am. Maybe I am in love. I don't know. I like David. After what happens with my father, though, I don't see David for a while again. I want to, but I can't stand it. I'm not sure why. It's like I'm forcing the distance between us. David doesn't deserve this. We were happy not too long ago. It's not fair that just because I can't handle something in my own life, that means he has to go through the difficulty of bearing with me as well. It's only during summer when I understand why I couldn't talk to him. I think it's because I was vulnerable. I was at my most narrowed down state, and I couldn't allow anyone who I loved so much to see me like this, to feel me like that. I didn't trust him. I didn't trust my friends, and I didn't trust myself. David and I are better now, though. We're both in the last grade of high school, so we only need to get through this. Then hopefully we can both go to college together. We try to go on dates more often. He always tries to spice things up and make sure we never get tired of doing the same things over and over. Sometimes it ends up being a mess, like the time we tried to go to a laser tag place. Most times it's very fun. For example, we went bowling one night, and I think we found a whole new hobby that we both love. David helps me rebuild. I feel like I was torn apart after last year, and I'm so happy to have someone like him to keep me together. Sometimes when we talk, I look at his eyes and think about what's going on in his head. How can he bear me? How didn't he leave me already? And other times when we're together, all alone with our breaths completing one another, I think the opposite. We're perfect for each other. It's insane luck that we found one another. I love him. Eventually, I'll tell him that. And he tells me he loves me too. And that's it. That's love. When we have each other and we don't need anybody else.
Bon alors, y a un petit truc déjà, je vais devoir camoufler, et ça m'emmerde. Putain, mais je suis en train de jouer tranquillement, j'ai Hotmail qui m'envoie un message, et là je vois le message s'afficher sur mon écran. Mais je vais pas vous le laisser pour que vous le lisez. Je suis obligé de le censurer. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ces conneries là? C'est un message privé, merde, il affiche là. Heureusement que je suis pas en streaming. Bon, alors... trêve de plaisanterie, elle a parlé pendant 20 minutes, là, sans déconner, je me suis endormi. En gros, elle nous raconte l'histoire de l'amour. Donc, qu'est-ce que c'est que l'amour pour elle? Tout commence donc à l'école élémentaire, où elle voit des couples se former. Elle est un petit peu jalouse, et puis un jour, elle fait la rencontre d'un certain David. Alors, David, elle le rencontre dans une galerie, et puis elle va commencer à le draguer, à se draguer. Et puis ils vont commencer à sortir ensemble, il va l'inviter au restaurant, et puis un jour il va l'embrasser. Et puis elle aime bien David en fait, c'est pas qu'elle aime bien, c'est qu'elle pense qu'elle aime plus que beaucoup. Voilà, donc en gros elle nous raconte un peu l'histoire de David, son père était peu présent, donc elle voyait pas souvent David, et puis David était important pour elle, etc. Il a aidé à se reconstruire, voilà, c'est pas mal. 3 heures pour lire une lettre. Par contre, j'espère que c'est pas ça pendant tout le jeu, parce que sinon vous allez vous faire chier.
The stars seem brighter now than they did before. I never thought that life could be much more let's run away together. Just you and I. Just take my hand, together we can fly. Life will take us many paths. It's our choice which one we choose. But maybe if we follow our hearts, we can make it through. We can go anywhere, follow roads we know, or discover new places as we go. I miss the way we talked. We talked all night. Just take my hand, together we can fly. Life will take us many paths. It's our choice which one we choose. But maybe if we follow our hearts, we can make it through.
Et ben voilà, on a poussé la chansonnette. Je sais pas trop c'est quoi le but du jeu. Mais bon. Nous allons le découvrir ensemble. Il n'y a rien là-dedans. Par contre, j'ai vu un truc avec un panneau. Love, birthday and school. Eh ben, allons vers le school, tiens. En tout cas, c'est vachement joli. Le FOV est de bonne qualité. C'est bien optimisé. Ah, dis donc, qu'est-ce qu'il n'y aurait pas quelque chose d'inscrit sur cet arbre-là? Ah non. Je pense que nous sommes dans son rêve. Hein. Y a pas de choses cachées, non? Ah bah on continue sur le chemin. Hein. Il y a une jolie petite musique de piano, c'est très agréable. Ah, encore un banc. Pause banc.
The stars seem brighter now than they did before.
Voilà. Voilà, parce que sinon elle va recommencer. En fait, à chaque banc, elle pousse la même chansonnette. Bon, elle aurait pu changer. Je crois que le school est par là-bas. Alors, je pourrais avancer plus vite, mais je me dis que nous sommes une enfant. Que nous allons prendre notre temps. Alors là, attention, préparez-vous, parce que ça va lire, à mon avis, encore beaucoup. Elle va nous parler de l'école.
Nobody cares about anybody in my current school. That's how it's been for 4 years now. It feels like a school for dummies. So I'm excited to see what this new school will bring. Well, here we go. It's time for 5th grade. I'm not sure if I'm excited. I used to be super pumped for every new grade, but I have no idea what the new school will be like. The school seems nice. I think. It has good decorations, and I really like the drawings. I wonder what the teachers are like. My old teachers always thought I was stupid. I think they didn't know how much ahead of them I was. The teachers here are fine, I guess. Everything is so easy, though. I would want to stay home and read something instead 100 times over. Math is fun and pretty easy. My teacher, Mrs. Cobalt, thinks that it's a challenge for me, but I always give her the assignment before she even finishes talking. They don't give a lot of homework, but when they do, I finish it in class. History is a bit interesting, mainly because we don't do anything. We have art class where everybody makes whatever they want. I started working on a pencil drawing, so every day during that time, I continue it. Well, it's fine. Not that bad so far. 5th grade is easy and pretty short. They gave us 15 math questions to solve during the summer, but I finished everything on the first day. 6th grade is the last year of elementary school. My new friend Emma is struggling with math, so I help her. A few of the other kids say I'm a nerd that likes school. I don't like school, I just don't struggle as much. During spring, this school has a special fair. They decorate every building and put out games and shops around the school. It's nice that they do it. I wish my old school did things like that. They now prepare us for the end of the year test with every subject we learned. It sounds scary, but I'm sure I'll be alright. Tom, Emma's friend, can't remember long division. I promised to help him, so he gave me a piece of gum in return. I think I can open a black market of things like that, selling private classes in return for candy. Maybe I'll do it next year, because I don't think the kids in this grade like me that much. As expected, the test is easy, at least for me. After this summer, I'm finally starting middle school, 7th grade, and wow, things are different. It's at a different place, a 10-minute drive from my home. We study physics now, and on top of everything else, history has tests now. History never had tests. Art classes are gone, unfortunately. My teachers are the worst. I think they don't like it when I already know what they're teaching. Some of them yell at me for saying the answer when I'm not supposed to. I don't think that black market idea would work anymore. History is awful. Why do I need to remember these names of people who died 100 years ago? These things have no relation to us. It's not practical. I'm so confused. I got a B- on my history test. That's the worst I've ever got on any test in my life. My mom doesn't care too much, but that's upsetting to me. I'll start studying more. In one word, middle school is a mess. Everyone is so loud all the time. They care about things they never cared about before. I'm glad I managed through 7th grade. I hope 8th grade will be somewhat different. The beginning of 8th grade isn't so hard. We have a new housemaster. He's called Richard. He seems pretty nice. He's younger than my previous ones, and he's one of the only guy teachers I've ever had. I think he understands me better. We have biology now, and I absolutely hate it, as if history wasn't enough. We have to remember different parts of living creatures, and I don't understand why. I would much rather draw instead of reciting what the powerhouse of the cell is called. The first half of that year is fine though. It's better than 7th in my opinion. This school's Halloween dance is super fun. Some of the spider webs they put on the walls as decorations stayed there until February. I think I'm falling behind a bit in biology though. I was willing to study at the beginning of the year, but ever since I got a cell phone, I stopped putting as much time into it. Seriously, there are so many things I can do on my phone that are so much more productive than biology classes. This year's biology test was huge, and they told us we'd have to prepare for it a lot because it's a precedent for next year's final chemistry and biology test. Well, I got a C-. My report card is like some unfunny joke. I have an A or an A+ in almost everything, but a big fat B- in history and a C in biology. My mom's upset because I probably could have gotten more. 9th grade is just annoying. As they told us before, we now have chemistry and biology in one class. That's like hell squared. It's not even New Year's yet, and my biology teacher caught me drawing 5 times. I used to fear to go to school, but now I feel awesome. I mean, my grades might not be as good, but they're just numbers and letters on paper. I feel more comfortable in school. My mom and my old friends aren't as happy. Eventually, though, as it nears summer and the end of middle school, I know I have to get back to studying. My friends are nice. They help me study even though I haven't helped them in a while. If I don't get a good grade in this chemistry biology test, I'll be in big trouble. It's hard to write with my broken hand, especially since it was my good one. But Richard said he'll allow me to use my laptop in class for the rest of the year. I study so much in the final days. I stayed up the whole last night studying for it. Finally, the test is over. A week later, we have the results. And it's a B+. I absolutely destroyed chemistry and biology. It's so fun to know I won't have to study this again unless I choose it in high school. I definitely won't, though. We're now starting 10th grade. I like that we don't have biology anymore, and thankfully, history is much easier. I feel like a lot of last year's stress will be gone this year, which is awesome. Let me just say this. The kids in high school are nuts. Our class seemed fine when we first got it. It had a small wooden closet for kids who've yet to get their lockers to put their books. Within the first week, a few kids disassembled one wooden wall of that closet and started writing jokes on it. Yeah, I'm not kidding. It's now wide open on one side. Now that I'm in high school, I can go to the Halloween prom. It's better than what we had in middle school. This time, they put a lot of effort into making our building feel spooky. One day, a guy dressed up as a skeleton and ran through classes. I heard he got called to the principal's office, but didn't have any other clothes, so his parents took him home in that costume. We have 3 major tests this year. They're each 30% of our final grade. One in math, easy. One in physics, not so easy. And finally, one in history, the worst. My math test is supposed to be more complicated than the other kids because I'm in a special class. But so far, it seems pretty easy. Physics can be confusing, but it's mostly equations. As far as history, I do what I did every year, which is reciting things 1,000 times until I remember them. Finally, I managed to get a good grade on all of these tests. Each year, the school does this end of the year party for each class. It's very fun. They get pizza for the whole class and we watch a movie, then have a mini party. I know 11th grade is hard, but I feel ready to roam. 10th grade was good. We have 4 tests this time around, same 3 as last year, with the addition of English. I like writing, but I don't like English class. It feels useless. I hope I can get through this test because there's a lot to remember. In our first English test, I studied a lot, so I got an A+. But now that this thing happened with my dad, I don't study that much. I don't feel like studying at all. I think it's going to take a toll on my grades, but I can't get myself to sit and recite things that don't help me whatsoever. What good is there to study physics, history, and even math? I know I'm not going to use any of it in my life. I want to draw, but there's no classes for that. The 4 tests go awful, but my mom pulled some strings so that it won't affect me too much in my last year of high school. I didn't go to this year's last day with the party and the pizza and everything. I didn't even get my report card in school like everybody else. I stayed home and they mailed it to us. After summer, I feel a little better. There's just 1 more year of all of this. Then I can go to college. I know I need to maintain good grades if I want to get that scholarship, so I study a lot as well. Mostly alone though. Well, I guess things haven't totally worked out the way I wanted in school, but the last year is better. Things are looking up, and I'm hoping for a better time in college. There's just 1 final test to go through, then I can go on my way. And that's it. I finally finished the 12th grade with an excellent level grades badge, according to my report card. I know I should feel a sense of accomplishment, but frankly, I just feel like a huge weight was put off my shoulders. It's time to move on. I finished school. All of it. Feels good to say that.
Bien, bah écoutez, pendant ce temps, moi j'ai eu le temps de faire un pèlerinage au Sainte-Marie de la Mer. J'ai combattu le réchauffement climatique et puis, bien sûr, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, est devenu le président des États-Unis. Alors, alors je vous explique un peu, elle nous explique donc l'école. Alors je vous laisse justement lire et puis écouter ce qu'elle dit, comme ça, vous, ça vous permet aussi de, pour ceux qui étudient en ce moment l'anglais ou qui sont jeunes, de vous familiariser avec des mots. En gros, elle nous explique chaque classe et son parcours scolaire. Alors, elle nous dit qu'elle déteste la biologie parce qu'il faut disséquer des animaux. Elle nous explique qu'elle aimerait avoir une classe de dessin parce qu'elle adore dessiner mais qu'il n'y en a pas. Elle nous parle un peu de son grand parcours scolaire que je vais pas résumer parce que regardez le nombre de lignes. Vous ferez pause et puis vous essayerez de comprendre vous-même. Ça vous fera travailler un peu votre anglais. Et donc, elle a passé tous les grades de l'école. Alors, c'est au Canada, hein, c'est différent de la France. Mais c'est pas mal, voilà, elle nous explique tout. Bon, bah écoutez, on est ravis d'avoir entendu ça. Hein. Donc, vous avez compris, je crois que c'est vraiment une vidéo détente. Hein. Voilà, une vidéo faite pour vous endormir. La vidéo du dodo. Ah, j'aimerais bien faire... je vais longer, mais j'aimerais bien faire le birthday. Ah bah là, il y a un panneau. School, ok, vacation et bullying. Ah, bullying. J'ai bien envie de retourner en arrière, en mode course. Est-ce que vous vous rappelez qu'il y avait birthday? Et j'ai envie de faire le tour de l'île et de passer par le birthday. Donc il y a quand même encore pas mal de choses, hein, vous avez vu. Hein. Attendez, c'est school ça? Ah oui. Allez hop. Direction le birthday. Eh ben disons que c'est loin. Hein. Ouh là là. On se refait une petite chanson? Non, je déconne. Je vais pas vous infliger cela. Heureusement qu'il y a la petite musique en fond qui va bien avec. Mais je vais pas passer 10 heures là-dessus. C'est une vidéo de découverte. Je le finirai en solo. Et j'espère vous avoir donné envie. Je rêve où il y a un moulin là-bas. Là-bas, c'est quoi là-bas? Attendez, parce qu'il y a peut-être un moulin. Hein. Voilà, birthday. Ah, mais il y a peut-être une baraque et tout en fait. Belying. Love, birthdays. On peut rejoindre le belying. Ah, ça a l'air super grand. Ce serait bien de voir aussi ce qu'il y a là-bas dedans. Une petite chanson? Non, je déconne. Voilà, on va faire le birthday. Dès qu'on trouve. Et puis je vous laisserai là-dessus parce que moi c'était une découverte pour vous. Et comme ça vous voyez à peu près quel type de jeu c'est. Ah là, il y a beaucoup de lumière là. Ah bah c'est peut-être le birthday. Alors attendez. Alors ça, je vais pas le visiter pour vous donner l'envie d'aller visiter par vous-même. Voilà, si je vous donne envie. Je pense qu'on est sur le birthday. Yes. Birthdays. Et donc si on continue par là-bas, il y a quoi? Hobbies and friends. Ben ça, moi, je le ferai en solo. Mais comme promis, on va se finir avec le birthday.
I was born on June 18th, right as summer break starts every year. I was always one of the younger kids in my class, but that was fine for the most part. This year, I'll turn 11. It's my first birthday in this new town and school. I can't wait already. Last year, my parents organized a small party with my class, as everyone does. I had fun, and most of the kids were nice, because it was right before I left. This year, I don't think I want to do something with friends. I was really looking forward to the gifts, but I think I'll have to settle with what my family gives me, because I don't think any of the other kids would come if I invited them. My grandma, Sarah, always gives me the best gifts because she's retired and I think she's rich. When I turned 8, she got me my first bike. They were pretty cheap, but I learned how to cycle using them. This year, she got me a new helmet and a pair of gloves. My parents got me a drawing board with like 1,000,000 pages and a ton of colors. I love it so much. And I think I already know what I'm gonna do most of the time this summer. Now, a year later, I'm about to turn 12. I've been talking about it with my mom for so long, and I think we're gonna do a party. I feel much more comfortable with my class now. I invited 20 people. Only one didn't come because she was sick. We watched a movie together and then ate a huge chocolate cake. I got a ton of presents, including a new basketball. My friends and I played with it all summer. Although my friends stayed with me for middle school, I still feel weird to invite my class to my 13th birthday this year. I'm not sure, so I ask my mom all the time. I think I might only invite Emma, Lucy, and Tom. My dad says he can make it for summer this year. That's it. I decided. No friends, just me and my dad. I celebrate the actual day with my mom, and my dad gets back home about a month later. He got me a massive box of chocolate muffins. I went with him to an amusement park, and we invited all of our relatives for a family dinner together. It was so much fun. I'll soon be 14, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do another party. I really wanted to last year, so I was thinking about it a lot. Emma keeps telling me I should do it, but that's probably because her birthday's always on Christmas, so she rarely gets her own party. I told her that if she promises to help me organize it, and if there won't be too many people, I'm ready to do it. I think Emma takes that a bit too far though. She bought like 50 balloons and made a guest list and is walking around bakeries to find the perfect cake. And there's more than a week until the birthday. I'm a bit stressed because I want Emma's work to mean something, but I'm also happy because she's so excited. The party ends up being amazing. My parents were almost completely cut off. Emma wanted to do it all by herself. We were about 20 kids, and we had a really fun time. My dad called after it ended, and we had a long video chat together. Next year, during Christmas, Emma turned 15, so I returned the favor and made a huge surprise party on her birthday. I've never seen her that happy before. Now, I'm about to turn 15 as well. And my mom and dad said we'll go on a trip. We're supposed to meet my dad in Arizona and then visit the Grand Canyon. We'll also do other stuff with my dad. He promised me we'll find a bike race or a horse race to watch, as well as a movie. The gifts weren't that great this year, but that's fine. I was happy to be with my dad again. We returned a few weeks later. I'm 16 now and don't feel like doing much of a party anymore. I was barely looking forward to my birthday this year. Emma says I have to do something because of the whole Sweet 16 thing. I think she's upset about this because both Tom and Lucy told her they weren't having their party either. The truth is, I don't think I'll have enough time this summer. I only remembered my birthday is coming up maybe a week before. My dad called to congratulate me on turning 16, and my mom still did something for me. She took me out to the movies and got me a few presents. I love the new headphones she got me, and I use them all the time to listen to music when I'm drawing. She also got me new bike gloves. My old ones were completely torn apart, so it was nice to have new ones. I didn't use them much though. My 17th birthday is the first one where I don't get the usual happy birthday from my dad. I really miss him, and during these last school days, I was very sad, so I barely saw my friends. For my birthday though, my mom got me a puppy. He's so small and cute, so I'm happy with it. My mom said he'll grow to be like 5 times the size in a year from now, so it's almost like a little baby. Finally, I turned 18, right as we finished school. I had a rough 12th grade, and reaching my 18th birthday feels like a significant milestone. I really wanted to do something to celebrate that, but I didn't need to. My friend Sydney planned everything out and threw an awesome party for me. I think this is the first time I drank alcohol in a party, and that's just because she brought about 100 beer cans. I have to say, I had a really good time. My last birthday was awful, so it's refreshing to finally feel happy and celebrating again. I guess birthdays will progressively be more and more boring, but it was fun to enjoy them while they lasted. I now know that what matters isn't that one day of the year or that next number I reach. What matters is the friends and people around you who are there to celebrate with you, to celebrate you.
Et ben voilà. Je vais pas vous résumer tout ce qu'elle a cité parce qu'elle a parlé de 7 années d'anniversaire, plus ou moins intéressant, plus ou moins joyeux. Encore une fois, c'est de l'anglais, je suis désolé, le jeu est pas en français, mais ça vous permet d'éduquer votre anglais. C'était une vidéo très douce, comment on peut appeler ça? Très tranquille. Voilà, c'était une vidéo découverte très tranquille. Nous allons nous arrêter là pour vous. J'espère vous avoir vraiment envie de prendre le jeu. Voilà, pour le prix qu'il est, franchement, ça vaut le coup. Et de découvrir un peu plus l'histoire de cette Chloé. En allant visiter l'île. Et donc tous les petits lieux et tout ce qu'elle nous raconte de sa vie. En tout cas, moi j'aime bien, c'est assez reposant. Voilà, quand on nous dit que le jeu vidéo est violent, et ben, la preuve que non, sur certains jeux, on peut avoir de très belles histoires. Je vous laisse là-dessus, je vous dis rendez-vous pour une prochaine vidéo. J'espère que cette vidéo vous a plu. N'hésitez pas à me le dire en commentaire, à liker, à partager la vidéo bien sûr si vous l'avez aimé. Et puis je vous donne rendez-vous pour une prochaine vidéo. Allez, salut tout le monde!